I want you to just pause for a second. Don't, stop what you're doing. Just mentally pause and answer a question for me. I don't mean the easy answer. I mean the real one. Where are you right now?
Well, I mean, if we're being literal, I'm sitting in a chair in a studio. I can feel the desk. I can see this microphone. I'm very much in the physical world.
Right. Your feet are on the floor. Gravity's doing its thing. But, and this is the really weird part, at this exact same moment, there is another you somewhere else entirely.
You're talking about the digital world, that place that isn't really a place at all.
Exactly. The version of you on servers and algorithms, in the cloud.
Yeah.
It's this strange split in the modern experience that we just don't talk about enough. We're in two places at once.
And here's the uncomfortable truth.
Yeah.
For a lot of us, that digital version, the profile, the data points, it feels more documented, more permanent. Sometimes it even feels more, quote unquote, real than the person actually sitting in the chair.
It's like a phantom limb of the 21st century. You have the messy flesh and blood self, and then you have the clean data point self.
But the problem, and this is what we're really going to dig into today, is that the data point self is, well, it's soulless. It looks like you, but it doesn't feel anything.
And that tension right there is the subject of today's deep dive. We're looking at this incredible genre-hopping EP. It's called Cloud Atlas by the Art of Ti-Fi.
And we should be clear, this isn't just a music review. We're not just going to say, the drums are catchy. This project is basically a lesson in map making.
In sonic geography, I think is the term she uses.
That's it, sonic geography. Her whole mission here is to argue that the digital world is a physical place, a terrain. And we need to learn how to map it. She literally wants to make the internet walkable.
I love that, making the abstract walkable so you can navigate it instead of just getting lost.
Instead of drowning in it, yeah.
And just a heads up, the soundscape she uses is, it's incredibly diverse. We're talking grime, lo-fi, some big orchestral sounds, and boom bap.
Well, she has to, right? If you're going to map the chaos of the internet, you can't just use one sound. You need all those different textures, the grit, the fog, the drama.
Okay, so let's unfold this map. We start with track 1, Digital Atlas. And right away, she hits us with this analogy that is it's perfect. She talks about the Mercator projection.
It's such a strong way to start. For anyone who's a bit rusty on their geography, the Mercator projection is that standard flat map of the world, the one you had in your classroom.
And it's famously wrong, isn't it?
Well, wrong is a strong word. It's distorted. It was designed for sailors for navigation. To make it flat and usable, Mercator had to stretch the land masses near the poles.
Right. That's why Greenland looks as big as Africa on those maps.
When in reality, Africa is 14 times bigger. So he stretched the truth to make the world usable. Consumable.
And that's Ti-Fi's whole point in Digital Atlas.
Right.
We do the exact same thing to ourselves online.
Exactly. We create a digital atlas of our lives. We stretch the truth, we blow up our successes, our good photos, our witty comments, and we shrink the failures, the boredom, the sadness.
We distort ourselves to be consumable.
Yeah. And the production on the track feels just like that. It's this gritty, raw, boom bap sound.
Can you break that down a little? What's boom bap?
Sure. It's a 90s hip-hop style. You've got a hard bass drum, the boom, and a sharp snare, the bap. But the key thing here is that it's often unquantized.
So it's not locked to a perfect computer grid. It's human.
It has a swing. It's imperfect. It feels like ink on old paper, It has texture. And there's a lyric that just captures it all. Standing on the precipice of 0 and 1.
Wow, that's a heavy image. A precipice sounds dangerous.
It is. It's that moment of translation. You feel a messy human emotion like heartbreak. But to post it online, you have to turn it into zeros and ones.
Yeah.
You have to translate your soul into code.
And once you cross that line, it's not really yours anymore. It belongs to the map.
And she talks about mapping the seabed of the data floor. She's saying you can't just map the shiny surface. You have to get to the muck at the bottom, the friction.
Okay, so we've got our distorted map. We know we're presenting a stretched version of the truth. But then we go deeper, and we meet someone. This is track 2, Digital Twin.
And the whole mood it shifts violently. We leave that warm, gritty beat behind.
And we land in this very cold, sterile electro house landscape.
Yes, but it's not a party version of electro house. It sounds robotic, anxious. The synths sound like server fans whirring at you.
Because this is where we meet the album's antagonist, the character she calls She, the digital twin.
This is her way of making surveillance capitalism personal. The digital twin is a version of you built by algorithms.
The profile that knows what you bought at 2 in the morning.
It knows what you bought. It knows what songs you listen to when you're sad. It knows how long you looked at your ex's photo. It's a perfect reflection, she says, with a wireframe face.
That's so creepy. It's like the uncanny valley.
That is exactly what she's getting at. That feeling when something looks almost human but not quite right, and it just repulses you.
And she faces it head on in the song. I walked into the room, and I saw her standing there with my same jagged walk and the exact same stare.
It's pure dissociation. She's looking at this thing that looks like her and moves like her, but it's not her, it's a performance.
And in some ways, it's better at being her because it never forgets anything.
That's the real tragedy in the song. The line that just, it floors me is, she doesn't feel pain, but she records every scar.
Oof, yeah, that lands.
I mean, think about that. The internet remembers your trauma, your mistakes, your breakups. It stores them perfectly, but it can't feel the weight of any of it. It's just data.
Retention without empathy.
Exactly. And that cold, repetitive beat mimics a server just blinking, recording, indifferent.
So we've got a warped map and a creepy digital clone. I'm feeling pretty overwhelmed at this point in the EP.
Which is the perfect setup for track 3, Digital Haze.
And the energy just bottoms out here. We go from that buzzing anxiety to something dusty. We're in the world of lo-fi hip-hop.
Right, and usually we think of lo-fi as, beats to study to, relaxing.
But the context here makes it feel totally different.
She's using those imperfections, the vinyl crackle, the muffled sound to represent a fog. It's information overload, brain fog.
The fog of the metaverse, she calls it. That feeling when you've been scrolling for hours and you can't tell what's real and what's an ad.
It all blurs, and when we feel like that, we tend to just let the algorithm take over. We follow the GPS dot.
But she proposes this really cool solution. She talks about sextant and server.
I love that line. A sextant is this ancient sailing tool. You use it to navigate by the stars. It takes patience, skill, a connection to the world around you.
And she puts that right next to the server, which is just the instant, easy answer.
She's saying we need to apply that ancient logic to new tech. We have to use our intuition, slow down, trust our own gut instead of just the feed.
All right, there's a line about navigating blindly through the dead of the night and just trusting the beat.
It's about finding your internal compass again. When the data is too thick, you have to turn off the screen and just feel your way through.
Okay, so we're stumbling through this haze. And that leads us to the big breakthrough, track 4, Digital Self.
This is the heart of the album. If the other tracks were the problem, this is the solution. This is where the map starts to make sense.
The concept is the walkable self.
Yeah. Imagine putting on a headset and literally stepping inside your own data. But it's not a spreadsheet. It's a landscape, mountains, valleys, rivers.
So it's reframing your personal history as geography.
Exactly. We think of our past, our trauma, our mistakes as baggage, something heavy you have to drag around.
She flips that completely.
She says, what if it's just terrain? It's just the ground beneath your feet.
Turn left at the heartbreak from 3 years ago. Turn right at the triumph that made the face glow.
When you treat a memory as a place on a map, it becomes neutral. It's not haunting you. You can walk over it. You can climb it to get a better view. It's not, I am sad. It's, I am standing in a valley of sadness, and I can walk out.
The music gets huge here to reflect that. It starts small, but then these massive orchestral hits come in.
It swells. It gives you that feeling of hiking to the top of a mountain and looking out over everything. You're not drowning in your history anymore. You're surveying it.
That's such a huge perspective shift. You're no longer the victim of your data. You're the one holding the map.
You're the surveyor. But we're not quite done. We've mapped the land, but there's still a storm brewing overhead.
Which brings us to the climax. Track 5, Digital Toys.
This is the final battle. And it starts by taking apart a word we use constantly. The cloud.
Yeah, we think it's fluffy, right? Weightless, a place to put things we don't want to carry.
And Ti-Fi just says, no, that is a marketing trick. The cloud is heavy, it's industrial, it's massive server farms, thousands of miles of cables, concrete and steel and electricity.
And all the things we put in it, our photos, our texts, we treat them like digital toys.
But they have mass, that's her whole point, the silent collection of digital toys. Every single thing you upload adds up, it creates a weight. A digital gravity.
The production on this track is absolutely wild. It sounds like a war.
It's so anthemic. She brings back that aggressive grime, energy-fast, jagged beats, and smashes it together with those huge orchestral hits.
It sounds like a final boss battle.
And the protagonist, who is basically us, climbs to the roof of the server farm to face this data storm.
And there's this incredible moment of triumph. She realizes she doesn't have to be crushed by it all, and she says the key line of the entire EP. The cloud is a territory vast and profound, but I've got it mapped, and I'm standing my ground.
Standing my ground, that is such a reclamation of power.
It is. And notice she doesn't say, I deleted the cloud or I threw away my phone.
No, this isn't an anti-technology album.
Not at all. It's not about escaping. It's about mastering it. It's about saying, I am the architect of my own code.
Yeah.
You don't have to drown. You can hold the atlas. It's actually hopeful.
Yeah.
Which is not where I expected an album about the dystopian internet to end up.
It's a gritty kind of hope. It admits the twin is real, the haze is real. But it insists that you, the navigator, are still in charge, if you choose to be.
So, to sum it all up, we start with the distorted map in Digital Atlas. We meet the soulless digital twin. We learn to use our gut in the digital haze. We reframe our past as terrain in Digital Self.
And then we stand our ground against the weight of it all in digital toys. It's a complete journey. It's a toolkit for reclaiming your space online.
In a world that wants to turn you into a user statistic, Cloud Atlas is a reminder that you are the cartographer. You draw the lines.
You decide what's real and what's just a projection.
I love that. Okay, so here's the thought I want to leave everyone with. It's a bit of a visualization exercise, so just stick with me.
I'm with you.
Imagine that all of your digital data, every Google search, every angry text, every late-night purchase, every photo you never posted, imagine all of it was turned into a physical room, and you have to walk into it right now.
That is a daunting thought.
What would that room look like? Would it be a total mess, a clean museum, a library? And here's the real question. If you walked into that room and saw someone standing there, would you recognize yourself? Or would you just see the twin?
That's a haunting question, and I think the answer probably tells us how much mapping we still have left to do.
Exactly. Something to think about. Thanks for taking this deep dive into the sonic geography of Cloud Atlas with us today.
It's been a journey.
Keep mapping, everyone. We'll see you next time.